my stepdaughter has really been into figure skating since she was about 6 years old. And about a year and a half ago, she decided she wanted to start competing. The issue is that we are kind of on the low end of spending for this sport, and it's costing us almost $1,000 a month.
Oh, goodness.
And it just goes up from there. We really are probably over our budget with what we're spending now. How do you balance her loving the sport and us not going broke?
How old is she now?
She is 14.
I've got some unpopular opinions on this that I always get in trouble for. Can I just put them out there? Is that cool?
Yeah.
John stirs the pot in all of this.
Very few things do I get in more trouble from the internet people than this, but here we go. I would suggest that we've grown up in a culture, we've created a culture where the kid is the star of the family show. And ultimately, where do you want to eat? What do you want to do? Who do you want to become? What do you want to be when you grow up? What college do you want to go to? What's your dream school? We dump all of these things in our kids' backpack. Think of them as rocks. We just drop them in our kids, and what happens without meaning to, and this happens like us trying to love and honor and give our kids opportunities that we didn't have, they end up carrying the weight of the whole house. And I'm a product of sports. I played sports all the way through. I was a two-sport letterman. I ran in college. I did MMA with professionals. Like, I'm all about sports and teams and workouts and discipline. All that stuff's great. And the greatest gift I can give my kid is not mortgaging my soul and our future.
And literally a second mortgage that some people do to pay for this stuff. Yeah.
To let them, quote unquote, do whatever they want or do whatever they're passionate about, do whatever what feels right. The greatest gift I can give them is a stable, at peace mom and dad. That's the greatest gift. And so before I get down a road where I'm paying for private coaching, I got to fly the coach in or drive the coach in, now we got to do this, it just starts building. And like you said, a little bit of success breeds this. And if you try to back out, it's like a timeshare salesman, right? They're like, hey, but we see really a bright future with your daughter. And if you do this, then it could lead to this and it could lead to this. And your daughter's just sitting there looking at you, and you feel like the Antichrist pulling some of the stuff away. And so I always think it's best to not follow the rabbit down the rabbit hole on this, but it's to start all the way at the beginning with your wife and say, hey, what kind of home do we want to have? And we're going to reverse engineer it that way. And what can we actually afford? So take ice skating away and input Lexus. If she was really passionate about a Lexus and really a good driver, and you couldn't afford a Lexus, you wouldn't buy her a Lexus. But for some reason, sports have become the altar that we sacrifice our families on and that we allow our families and our kids to worship. And I think it's beyond madness. It's gone to pathology now. And at the same time, dude, I get it. I can't imagine having a daughter who's starting to excel. You're a stepdad. You're building relationships and connections. And then you're going to sit down and, like, you're going to take this away. Right, I get that. I can't think of something that would be harder to do as a parent. I just am seeing family after family mortgage their souls for sports and travel sports, and the sake of whatever my kid wants to do, I'm gonna do it. And the kids can't carry that weight. We end up burying our children.
What do you think, David?
Yeah. That's kind of my thinking. It's more we draw a line in the sand and it's like,
yeah,
this is what we can afford.
Yep.
And.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep. And David, honestly, too, if you don't do that, nobody else is. This ice skating community isn't going to. The trainer's not going to. The championship tournament places aren't going. Like, no one else is going to do that. You literally could spend and spend and spend and spend. And there's nobody in the world that's going to be like, hey, David, you got to stop. So that's when you and your wife together have to say, we have to put a boundary up, because there's nobody else on planet Earth that puts up boundaries for us. We have to create those ourselves. And if you don't, especially these little microcosms of life, and kids sports is one of them, you can just go down a train, just like John's saying, and you look up and you guys have spent your retirement. I mean, you've done all of this. And I know, I just am so cautious, especially, and I would say this too, David, even if you guys had the money, it would be an interesting conversation too. The urgency may not be there. Like with the money, there's a little bit of a finite we just
can't.
we don't have the money. Like we can't do that, and we're not going to stress ourselves out and miss a mortgage payment for ice skating. Like that's insane. We can't do that. We are adults. She's 14, and we have to make adult, mature decisions in our household and run our household. And then what comes after that is what we have to decide. But we're not going to put ourselves in a financial bind for this. We can't. We won't. And so you draw that line. But even if you had the money, I think what John's saying is interesting. And I know it's so controversial.
Well, here's the deal. I've got friends that are athletic trainers at universities.
Yeah.
And they continue to tell me that they're bringing in 18 and 19-year-olds with joint overuse injuries that they see in geriatric populations. Shoulders and knees and hips that were not designed to do the same sport day after day, week after week, year after year since someone was a child and all the way up through. Their bodies can't handle that, right?
Yeah. So if there's like I don't know, David, what your options are, but my encouragement would be hopefully to be able to find a group to play in, whether it's a rec and not competition. I mean, I don't know what it is for ice skating, but like where she can still do what she loves, right, and enjoy it, but it's just not at this high specific level that is so narrow
intense. Well, let me
and
say this.
intense for 14,
If this is my house
and expensive,
I would sit my son down, who's 13, almost here, and I'd walk him through our budget. And then I would say, here's what it costs for rent, here's what it costs for electric, water, all that.
Food, what we spend. Yeah.
And then here's what we got for this, and this is our cap.
Yep.
And then I'm not just going to say it in a vacuum, but I'm going to show him, here's what we can afford.
That's right.